Welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this gorgeous stone-like design using some alcohol inks. The products I used for this design are Kiara Sky's Ragdoll, as well as Pure White. It is a great white to use in a lot of designs. It's a great base. I'm also using Apres alcohol ink in Neon 34 and their blending fluid as well. That's going to help to blend everything out. It's going to look really nice. For the glitter, I'm using MIZHSE Slumber Party, and a little new product that I haven't really used much is this Builder in a Bottle by Kiara Sky. I purchased these tips on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. They're kind of a funky shape. They're supposed to be, I believe, coffin, but they're this weird combination of a coffin and a almonds, and I say that because the sides kind of bulk out a little bit, but they somehow come to a short or a narrow tip at the end. They're weird. I have them, so I'm gonna use them. I'm just gonna remix them up a little bit because I'm not gonna throw them away. I did pay for them. I'm taking a file and I'm just filing the sidewalls in. My goal is to create a soft almonds, nothing too crazy. I do have stiletto nail tips or full coverage tips that I could have used, but those come to a more pointier point. I wanted something a little softer for this nail design. So on my previous design, I did tell you guys how I love filing on camera. Anyway, I decided to leave it in this video only because if you guys go to click the link to this video, you guys are going to see that the tips are a completely different shape. So I thought it might be a good idea for me to show you that it is the nail tips. It's just I changed up the shape a little bit by filing in the side walls. I'm leaving this part or this one nail in regular time, but in a few seconds you're going to see that the video is going to fast forward. It's going to be twice as fast, and it's just because I don't want to bore you guys with me covering half the camera with my hand as I file, doing a great job showing you how I do it. In the meantime, I will talk about the design. This is a very cool design. You can do it on all the nails or just one. I stuck with just doing it on 2 fingers, but it's a really cool design to know how to do, especially if you're in a bit of a time crunch or if your client is one of those people who really hate to sit. There are some designs that are really intricate and you have to encapsulate it and do all kinds of fancy things. This is a design that looks like it took you forever, but it's actually really, really simple and really fast. We're finally in the good parts. So I'm taking Kiara Sky's Ragdoll and I'm gonna apply 2 thin coats on that index as well as that pinky. Ragdoll is such a beautiful shade. It's kind of like a neon corally pinky orange highlighter color, if that makes sense. It is great for springtime as well as summertime, so that's why I'm kind of sticking with it. And then in that middle and that ring finger, I'm taking Kiara Sky's Pure White and I'm applying again 2 thin coats over the surface of those 2 nails. Pure White is an excellent shade to do behind this particular alcohol ink because it's gonna really make that color pop. You can use a cream or whatever color you want in the background, but I think white is gonna make it really pop. And here I accidentally got some color in what would be the cuticle area if it was an actual hand. So just taking that with a little bit of swipe and I'm just cleaning up that area. And then I'm gonna finish covering these nails. I'll be sure to link where I got those brushes from, but I believe it was Amazon. I believe Kiara Sky requires a 30-second cures. I usually do a minute just to be sure. So like I said, I'm curing a full cure, or in my case I'm doing a 1-minute cure in between both coats, just to make sure that it is nice and opaque and cured all the way through, because we don't want no wrinkling in our nails. Once that gel polish is completely cured, I'm going to top coat. So on the nails that have the ragdoll, I'm top coating it with Young Nails Ultimate Finish. And the white nails, the ones that have pure white on them, I'm using a matte top coat. For this specific design, I used the matte top coat by this brand that I'm putting on the screen. Yeah, I can't pronounce it, so I'm putting it on the screen. But I bought it off of Amazon, very inexpensive. I love their products. Their gel polishes are really, really great, and their matte top coats period are great. It's not just their matte top coat. Their shiny is really good as well. I'm gonna suggest that you play around with your top coat and your alcohol ink combination, because different alcohol inks will react very differently with different top coats. Whether it's matte, shiny, they all react very differently. So just play around with your combinations until you get the look that you're looking for. So once that's completely cured, I'm taking that Apres alcohol ink and I'm applying that ink over the majority of the nail, and I'm gonna let that completely dry. Once that's dry, I'm gonna take this brush that I got off of Michael's. I think it was honestly under $5 if I'm being totally honest. I have a feeling it was like $2 or $3, but I'm taking that and I'm using very little Apres blending fluid on my brush. I don't want to flood my brush or my nail, excuse me, because then it's just gonna create a mess. You want to use not necessarily a dry brush, but a damp brush, I guess. You don't want it to flood the nail is the point. So the key to making this design look good is to, number one, use very little liquid on your brush. Number two, it's also to let the nail dry. Okay, so I'm taking my brush with blending fluid, I'm moving the alcohol ink a little bit, and then I'm leaving it alone, and I'm going to the next nail, and then I'm going to repeat that until I'm satisfied with the design. I'm also not going directly into my liquid after I finish using the brush on my nail, because then it's going to bring that color or that pigment from the alcohol ink into the blending fluid. The blending fluid did not come in those glass jars. I actually purchased those on Amazon, and I'll be happy to provide you with a link below. I like to use these glass pump bottles for the majority of my liquids. Like I have it for acetone, I have it for my Young Nails Swipe, I also have it for alcohol, as well as monomer and this blending fluid. It's easy, you know. I hate having to open up bottles and close them and pour them and make sure that they're closed and blah 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 blah. I feel like these glass jars really make it easy. Yeah. So just keep blending that until you are satisfied with how the nail looks. Again, let the alcohol ink dry before you go into it again. Once that's dry, the next step is going to be to kind of seal that in. So I apply a sprinkle of glitter over the nail because I wanted a little bit of sparkle, nothing too crazy, but a little bit of it. So I'm not going to go into top coat. I'm actually going to go into base. And the base that I'm using is by Young Nails. It's their manicure base. And I'm applying that very lightly over the nail. So before I apply the base, it's important to let that alcohol ink dry, of course, because if not, number one, you're going to get alcohol ink all over your bristles and then into your gel. But it's also going to kind of smear it, and you don't want to do that. You also have to play with the products that you have. Some base coats or top coats are just going to automatically cause that alcohol ink to melt even if you let it dry. You also want to apply very light pressure. You don't want to scrub that on or continuously wipe over the same area, because you are going to smear it. Then I'm taking this glitter by YoungNails. Unfortunately, it was a limited edition glitter, but it is gorgeous, so I wanted to use it. I'm taking some of that glitter on my fingertip, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the nail, almost like if I'm seasoning meat or a salad. It's literally like you're sprinkling pepper on a steak. That's kind of what I'm doing, essentially. But I'm doing that because if I was to just sprinkle this straight from that glass jar, I'm gonna end up with sand on the nail. Like, you're not gonna be able to see the design underneath, and I wanted it to be very very light. Prior to me adding that glitter, I want to know I did not cure that. I applied that glitter over very wet base gel. Once that's cured, I popped that in the lamp for a full cure, and then I went in with the builder gel by Kiara Sky. This is the jelly tip builder that came in the jelly tip kit. You can purchase it individually, or you can purchase it with the jelly tip kit. And I'm applying that over that glitter. You do not have to. You can go into a thicker top coat, or you can just do 2 layers of top coat. I decided to go in with this builder because I have it and I don't really use it, and I wanted to seal in those glitters very well. So I'm applying it very, very, very lightly. I'm not looking to build over the nail. I'm not looking to make that nail thick. I just want to seal those glitters in so that when I top coat it, the top coat is going to look very smooth. I don't want it to be bumpy or feel bumpy. I want it to be as smooth as possible. And then I'm going to put that hands on the lamp and give that a full cure. To top coat, I'm using the same as I used on Ragdoll, just because I have it out, and it's YoungNails Ultimate Finish. I'm going to make sure that I get those edges and everything is nice and smooth. I'm also going to be checking that light line and make sure that it is nice and smooth. I don't want it to be wrinkly or wobbly. I want it to be as smooth as can be. So I really hope you guys like this design. I would love to see you guys recreate it. If you do, I'm going to leave my Instagram on the screen so that you guys can tag me on it, because like I said, I would really love to see your version of this nail art. This pretty much concludes this nail art tutorial. It's a very quick, simple, and fast design. Great for if you're in a time crunch. So it's very doable. Anybody can pretty much do it so long as you have the supplies. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I do plan on posting every Wednesday. Hopefully I can keep up. So if you'd like to keep up with the content, then please subscribe. Thanks.